Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it to. I'm Bushka, and this is PUBG Mobile first-person mode. I'm going to be running a bunch of games here. This is a recent session I had on the NA server, and we won a heap of games in a row, and I want to talk you through what I'm doing in those games, the tactical ideas behind it, and how you can apply that to your own gameplay and emulate that and be a little bit more successful with what you're doing. Now, just quickly, if you're hearing a whole lot of noise, banging, drills and all that, it's because there is a building going up next door to me, and I can either stop making videos or I can just say sorry for it and keep rolling on. Now, I'm bridge camping here. This is the first game of the run, and I'm bridge camping because that was what the map called for. I dropped right near bridge. I got a whole heap of good loot, including a Kar 98K and an M416. I picked up a couple of scopes. My situation was such that it was ideal for this. It was absolutely ideal. And not only that, what I did was I was clearing people up here, and this is something I do all the time on a bridge. If the game dictates, I clear these guys, and then I take their vehicles, and I make a little blockade here. And then you can see this guy tries to run through the blockade, and just gets stuck. We clear him as well, and he helps to plug a little bit of a hole in the middle there. He also delivers a little care package while he's at it. Lovely shot this. Bang, right through the head. Kar 98K, thanks for coming. Now, a lot of people get upset with this kind of tactic, and I don't think there's any reason for it. I don't think there's any reason to be upset about this at all. It's completely valid. It's no different to if you're playing in third person, someone camping a crate. It's no different to someone sitting inside a house for half the game until someone turns up or the circle works in their favour. It's absolutely no different to someone camping a car. They're all part of the game. And you should also understand that the way rating is worked by Tencent, by the guys at PUBG Mobile, is that 80% of your rating is survival time. 20% of your rating is kill time. So what I'm doing here, getting a bunch of kills every game, isn't really going to seal your rating. The thing that gets you rating is getting a chicken dinner or finishing in the top 10, finishing up the leaderboard. It's more important than anything else. So this is not exactly the best way to gain rating, because it is actually very confrontational. It is causing a whole lot of gunfights and a whole lot of activity. But at the same time, it's a good way to not die of boredom. And I find that I'm more in this game to have fun and to try and balance out the fun and the win at the same time. And if you want to do that, then stick around and I'll show you a lot of videos on how to do it. So after you do this on bridge and the circle finishes working towards you and you actually don't have a lot more choice, you have to turn around. And this is where things can get very tricky. Because remember, if you've been camping bridge, you've basically got a whole heap of guys behind you who've gone to military base. And if they've been to military base and come out of alive, they are kitted out, right? This is a big mistake. Never go for a crate this late in the game unless you've cleared the area around it and you know you're safe. Because there's no way, like if it's still got smoke coming out of it, there's no way that crate isn't under intense observation. The odds on it are just absolutely enormous. The odds on you actually clearing the crate and living to use the loot you got. There's a guy down there in a ghillie suit. He's in a horrible position. Now, you will note throughout this video, there are a lot of times when I am going to hilltops. The reasoning behind that for me is that more so than in third person, high ground is a game breaker. When you can't consistently view in a 360 degree angle all around you without giving up a whole lot of cover, like you can lie down on a hilltop, or you can lie down in the grass, or you can lie down behind a building in third person and just get a full range of view, and that's really, really cool. But you can't do that in first person. I love that. It means that you've got to be tactical and you've got to think things through. The other thing I do a lot in third person is I check my 6. So I got 25 seconds left. I hear that there's shooting up ahead to the west-northwest. I'm going to move on up and look for the shot. Once I clear that target, I'm then going to move back around and check my 6 and watch the zone line come in. Now, as you get towards late game, this is something that's really, really key. Watch the zone line come in. If you watch the zone line come in, you will quite often see people running in who've left it very, very late to get to a safe spot on the map. I'm using the Mini 14 too here, by the way. I'm going to be doing a video on the Mini 14 very, very soon. I'm really enjoying it still. It's a great fun gun, and I'll break down why, and we'll be doing another one. I just did that video on the SKS, but anyway, I digress. Here I am, checking my 6, watching my 6. You would not believe how many games I've won and how many games I've lost just from not doing this. The other thing in first person that a lot of people get wrecked from, myself included, is when you get lazy and you clear a target and you start looting straight away. Because generally, any kind of sound is going to draw fire. So if I'm watching the map and I see indicator lines pop up showing that there's firing to the west, I'm going to move toward those lines, clear the target, and then if I'm lazy, I'll just go down and start looting him. And anyone else who's been a little bit slower than me is going to turn up and see me looting a box and just wreck me. And I get kills like that all the time, and I've been killed a few times late at night when I'm just falling asleep and being an idiot for that reason as well. Again, we're coming in towards final circle, and we're maintaining altitude. We're trying to stay on top of the map here. People they tunnel in, right? They tunnel in on targets. They hear those lines. They know they're all down there on the flat. There's a bloke in a house. There's blokes outside the house. They're all looking to make a little bit of love, action, and justice from their hiding positions. And I'm pretty mobile. I'm at the top of the map. I'm outside the circle, but I'm above them. I've got a great field of view. All I have to do is wait for them to start firing, and I can see that there are targets out there just to the south of me. There he is. He's behind a tree. Mini 14 shreds him. And then we start looking around again to make sure that there's no one hearing us, and move down into the circle. Now we're moving down to this tree here, and then we're going to just get a nice cozy spot up behind that tree, do a bit of pro leaning, and look for targets. We're certainly not going to expose ourselves until we absolutely have to. The zone's coming in. We're still not quite in the zone, but this is the best piece of cover, just to make sure that we don't have anyone who's highlighted us yet. Still looking. There's only one other bloke left. He's got to be down in that house area there is what I'm thinking, because we saw gunfire down there on the left and he was looking in this direction. So I'm thinking he's either at those trees there directly southwest or a little bit more to the west, and there he is. There she blows. We clear him. Another win and another, and this is quite funny, this game. So someone got there before me, right? I'm going to fast forward through this, but me and this bloke have a great run around at Milta Power Plant, all over the place. He goes up, I go down. He goes down, I go up. He goes the other side, I go to the roof. He comes to the roof, I go downstairs. I bail off the edge, and eventually we meet like ships in the night. Now, I'm still looting, still tooting, still shooting, and I decide that I'm going to try and flank around here because I know he's in the bottom story and set a little bit of a trap. And I'm gonna do that here, take some painkillers, move through, and just set up for him. Now, again, you saw on that last map when we won, we had altitude. I get screwed here a little bit by a bot, and this is something that I actually take advantage of. And the reason I'm showing you the bot kill is because that's really annoying, because that means that he now knows that there's someone outside. He knows the general direction, but he's had enough. We've been doing this for, 2-3 minutes, going backwards and forwards, and he eventually decides he's going to push out, and we just outlast him, basically. But I do that all the time. Bots, if you watch a bot, they'll start shooting at people, which is pretty funny. Oh, poor bugger. I mean, yeah, just rough. Doing the old roll-up in a car. Kill, move, kill. The bots will start shooting and they will indicate. Likewise, if you see a bot in a field and he's not shooting at anyone, it generally means there's no one there, which is more information that the game's giving you. Albeit it's grubby ways. It's a grubby way to tell, where targets are and where you're likely safe and where you're not safe from. But if you see a bot running around and they're like, that's a bot, right? So I know that there is no one there. There's no chance that there is someone up there, because if there was a person up there and he was lying down in that field And I was actually looking around that area because I was worried that there was someone up there from an earlier engagement where I saw someone firing this direction. Then I'd realise there wasn't, because there's a bot there. So that's why I was showing you that little clip there, so you'd understand. And you're going to see, again, this is another example of it here. There's someone over there shooting at a bot, right? And you can see that's the guy shooting at the bot, and I kill him first. And then we worry about the bot and clear the bot. And he just adds to the kill count, but who the hell cares? Now, there's a mountain up there. There have to be a lot of people around. And you can see there's a guy up there tunneling, absolutely tunneling in down below at a guy in some houses over to my east. And he doesn't realise that I'm the one shooting him, not the guy in the house, so he just stands still and gets wrecked. I'd been watching the kill spam earlier, and he had picked up a couple of kills, so he was up there sniping to the best of his ability. You know, just one of those things. And I'm going to head up the mountain. High ground it's sacrosanct in this form of the game. You can't beat a good overview. It's very, very hard to get clear lines of sight when you can only see in first person. There is someone over there you can see. That is who I believe he was tunneling earlier. I missed that shot. He moves around a bit. Oh, I only just had an edge on him. Still looking for the target. No, he's not going to pop out, so we're not going to muck around too much. The zone line's coming in, and we're going to have to get into space. So we move from cover to cover. There's a nice bit of rock. Going to move to another nice bit of rock. Got my Kar 98K out. Still looking up the left, just in case someone gets pushed over the top of that mountain and blindsides me. And then we're looking again. Get a bit of pro lean action going on. Looking again for the bloke that's been camping that house. Where is he? And there's no one coming over the edge. There's again I can hear him. He's been firing off over there for a while now. There he goes. Just see if he gives us a nice easy shot there. Headshot would be nice. Thanks very much. We grab that headshot, clear that area there. We're down to 5 left alive. Someone gets done in the play zone. All the better for us. Now there's only 4 bad guys left, and we can see a gunfight is popping on the northern edge of the map. I just want to make sure that that side of the map is actually clear before I go pumping over the top of the hill. And then I'm going to run around the edge of the zone. Now, I've got a minute left. I'm happy to let them clear each other out. I'm going to get an overlook up here. I'm going to run around this edge of the zone. I'm not really worried about that box. I've got 350 rounds of 5.56, a Kar 98, couple of scopes, lots of med kits, level 3 helmet, a level 3 vest. I mean, there's nothing I really need to do apart from get to a good overlook and start clearing targets. So here we are, we're right up the top, just moving around. Don't want to be too stationary and too stagnant. Trying to make sure that the left-hand side, now this is again checking the 6, always checking the 6. If you want to win these close games, you really want to make sure, and you can see he's down there, he's been tunneling a target. We get him, excellent. What's he shooting at? That's what we're worried about. There's 3 of us left, but he was definitely shooting at someone down there to the west, to the east rather. No one's popped though. No one popping up from the grass next to me. And I still have had a few occasions where people are just lying still in the grass. And you'll see one at the end of one of these games where people are lying very, very still. Nothing here. Nothing here. Just making sure we're all clear. I know we cleared that house earlier, but you know, you can never tell. People do weird stuff. I don't know where that guy came from. Honest to God. But he was blended in beautifully with, I don't know where he came from. He was absolutely beautifully blended in with the back of the map. I don't know what he was doing. We duck right back in here, and we're actually going to clear the last guy. I believe this is who that fellow that we Kar 98 Cade was looking at, and we clear him. We're going to win a chicken dinner. That's our 3rd in a row, I think. 3rd win in a row. So here comes the last game. This is going for 4 wins. We're going crates because we love a little bit of activity. And I'm going to show you, you saw the bridge camp earlier. This is something I like to do at crates. Now, crates is super contested and it's a lot of fun. And if you think I was worried about raiding or anything like that, I like to go crates because crates is good for footage. And I'm a YouTuber at heart, so I need to get content, need to get footage. I need to grind that footage, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. We haven't picked up much so far. Just picked up a big med kit and a backpack and a nice vest. But a VSS is not exactly what I was after. Here we go. M416. Excellent. That's what we're after. We look around. Can't see anything yet. Still bouncing, 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 bouncing. We've got a 2 times. Going to see if we can't get a little bit of action going with the 2 times. But I'm a little bit wary because you don't have a helmet. Now, in early game, not having a helmet is absolutely diabolical. You've got to find a helmet ASAP, because even if you get your torso covered up and you're kind of hull down, so to speak, like a tank, a stray shot from like a 7.62 is going to wreck you, and you can't afford that. You really can't. So you've got to get yourself a little bit of headgear. That's the really prime aim here and the most important thing. But if you can't, you've got to, needs must, you know, needs must. So looking around, oh my goodness gracious me. 8 times scope, an M416 and 120 rounds. Yes, thank you very much. I'm actually going to have a really, really good time now, because M416 with an 8 times is a joke. There's a reason why the next patch, the beta 0.7, if you saw the video I did earlier in the week, they're taking the 8 times scope away from ARs, particularly this one here, the M416. M416 has very similar shell characteristics to the M14 Mini, only it can do it with 40 rounds in a clip rather than 30 rounds in a clip. Slightly slower shell velocity, a couple of other less notable differences, but for the most part, it's fantastic. So what I've done is moved up to single shot, got to the top of the map. I've got my M416, I've got an 8 times scope, and I am going to wreak absolute havoc from up here. Now, one of the things that you find in crates fights up here is people don't look up, particularly in first person. When you're running around, jumping around on crates, it's very, very hard to jump, look up, and do all that kind of stuff all at once. And you can see we're having a whale of a time. This is an AR. I mean, get wrecked. That's a bot there, by the way. But still, just a good example of why this gun is so lethal when paired with an 8 times scope and single fire. The shell velocity is excellent. The damage isn't great, but it's enough. And again, look at that lead time. The shell velocity is just brilliant. 3 shots in, even at that kind of range. Brutal. We're up to 4 kills already. Still looking for a little bit of action. There's a bloke. He's looting the corner there. Tries to get inside. No. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. 3-shot burst. Quick on the finger. 5 kills. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. And we're now looking down to the other side of the map. We go down, we start looting because we can't see any more targets down here. We've got 6 kills. We killed a bot in there as well. There's been a little bit of action on the northern side of the map there. You can see there's someone over there. We've seen a few firefights going on over there. I'm not sure. That bloke has been fighting someone. He comes around the corner there. They have a little bit of hurry up. He nails him with the SCAR-L. And we then take out his aggressor. And we're up to 7 kills. Excellent. Now we've moved back to the top of the mountain again. Mountains, baby. Mountains is where it's at. And we're looking for action. Looking for targets. Looking for a target opportunity. But we don't actually see anyone down below. And we nearly get wrecked here. Someone pops behind us. Actually, this is an interesting thing. This ridgeline here, this mountain range here, for lack of a better term. If you go down the bottom of it, you go to the shoulders, like right down to either end, like north or south ends of the mountain range. You can get someone popping in the middle, and they will get an overview of you from behind. And if that guy hadn't been looking in the wrong direction, I would have been screwed. I actually had a Car 98K in my hand. I had to swap that round very, very quickly and get my action on, or he was going to ruin me. That guy over there, he took too long. He zoomed in. He went ADS down sights, and we ruined him as well. So 9 kills now, going for our 4th win. I'll cut out the big part where I went running around through the middle of the map, couldn't find anyone, and move towards where I've seen some gunfire over here on the map. There we go. It's up again. He's sniping out through that window, and we take out our 10th kill. I'm going to move into these houses over here. Now, it's a good spot to move into. When the circle is like this, the house on the right, down here a little bit further south of me, actually has very, very good overlook. There's a 2-story house below Pachinki, a red 2-story house below Pachinki, and there's a whole lot of other stuff and scrub over there behind us where that crate's dropped. You can see there's a guy in a ghillie suit there. He just potatoes out, this bloke. I don't know what he's thinking. He's basically just standing there, not doing anything. He's just looted the ghillie suit. Just, mate, you don't hang around the crate like that. Bad idea. Have you seen all these kills that we get at crates? Like, you don't see me going to the crate. You just overlook the crate and you'll pick them up. This bloke's been unfortunately forced into the circle, and we've taken advantage. And these are these houses I was talking about. Now I'm going to move over to the house a little bit further to the south of me here, and get an overlook on that 2-story red bricker. Oh no, I'm not. That's another game. I forgot. There we go. We get the one shot, and then he ducks down underneath that first. Oh, lucky grub. He gets a little bit unlucky, though, in a sec, because the circle is now coming his way. He's injured already, and he's got to get out of there. So he jumps into the car. We missed our shot there. We switch up to the M416 on full auto. We've got the 2-time scope going. He starts driving in towards us and thinks better of it, and then goes and drives the edge of the blue circle as it's pushing in. We switch to the other window, and unfortunately, in his haste, he runs into that little bit of farm machinery there. I'm leading the target. Should have jumped out of the car there, buddy. But I guess he didn't really have a lot of choices. And he gets wrecked. 13 kills. We're moving on up and looking for a finish. We're looking for our 4th chicken dinner in a row. We've moved out to the crate. We're using it as cover. And there's 2 guys left out here. I'm hearing a lot of gunfire out here. There's 2 of them. They know where each other are. I don't know where they are. So I'm going to fire a little bit into the... and there you go. I've got a shot there. Got a headshot, in fact, somewhere out there. So I clear that. And you can see that target then runs off to the right there. So I know he's gone over to that area there behind the little hut. I'm just generally firing off with a suppressed... There's another interesting point to make here. Because the guy that is ahead of me to the southwest, he is going to pop Grens. And he's fighting the guy that is over there at the hut. And I can see that that guy's now in the hut because I just saw his gun muzzle go through the wall. But the guy that is directly to my southwest, he is lying down. He is prone. And he gives up all vision. There we go. Now, I know he's over there because basically that guy was shooting at him, right? CD Dizzle 420. I get a nice, good look at this area. And he's been chucking Grens. So I'm happy enough to stand up and get visual because I know if he can't see me, he's lying down in the grass and he has absolutely no visual here. It's terrible. If you lie down in these final circles and you got used to that play from third person, you're just giving it up. So I am. There's a tiny little final circle here. This is the last circle for the 4th win in a row. He's throwing Grens and he's lying down doing it. He's just taking pot luck. If you give up vision, you basically give up a huge portion of opportunity to win the match. And because I have the overlook now, I've got the first right of refusal on anyone that wants to stand up and get wrecked. We get the win. We get the win. You can see he's going to stand up in just a second. Slightly to the left of our position here. We swap back to a 2 times. Basically, as soon as he stands up, we're going to see him. There he is. And we get the win. There's our 4th chicken dinner in a row. We got a 5th chicken dinner actually on Asia in squad after this, but it doesn't really count. Most of it was against bots. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously low ratings. Don't get too cut up about it. I'm not claiming to be the best human ever. It's not my style at all. Just hope you took something away from that. Some of the tactical stuff is always interesting to do. And yeah, look after yourselves. And until next time, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now. Bye.